we're talking about, if it's Pete versus Trump in 2024, if it's Kamala versus Trump in 2024, how that's going to be the funniest election of all time. And what we didn't realize is that in order for that to happen,
it will be the best election of all time.
Well,
I am personally going to get tired of winning just from that campaign.
But think of this. This is something you're missing.
Campaign of victory.
Nobody has even thought of how funny a Pete versus Kamala primary would be. That would be a fantastic primary. I would actually love to do this. If it's a Pete versus Kamala primary, I think we should actually do this. It's going to be a little difficult.
The powers that be are not going to allow that, though, and they're both, they're good boys and girls. They do as they're told. I don't think the powers that be will allow.
Yeah, but apparently there is some tension between their camps right now.
Yes,
they're jockeying for position. But you don't think that'll ever become a public thing?
The people who run that party are not going to allow it. They're not going to. They're going to decide who they want to run, and they're going to tell the other one to sit down and shut the fuck up.
Well, Pete already sat down and shut the fuck up once. He did it this time. That's how this documentary ends. Is him deciding to drop out, right? I would just love to moderate a debate between Kamala supporters and Pete supporters. I would love to have one.
It would. You're right. You're right.
That would be so
best.
Fun.
It would be the best thing. It would be comedy gold. The K-Hive versus whatever the fuck he has going on over there.
The Panic at the Disco song, the dance that they did. Yeah. Whatever they call themselves.
Greatest election ever. It would be so great. I wouldn't even get mad about it.
No, it would be hilarious.
Be mad. I wouldn't
it would
even
be funny.
Like,
it would be
these goddamn Democrats can't come up with anybody else. Fuck it. It would be such high camp that I would just have to take it in that spirit.
Well, of course. And it would be great. It would be fantastic. I mean, there's not going to be a good candidate next time. There are no good candidates. So who's it going to be? So
there's no Bernie, and there's no
There's no Bernie, and there's no heir to the Bernie movement that's going to make any kind of dent. And so it's just going to be a shit show, and it's going to be a lot of fun if it's either Pete or Kamala, which it probably will be at this point. Lindsay ended up staying up. Russell is right. Maybe they'll have Amy Clowninjar up against Wine Cave Anointed. Well, the only thing I respect about Amy Klobuchar is her hatred for Pete Buttigieg. That's what I like. That's the only thing I like about her is that she despises Pete. I do respect that she hates Pete so much. Apparently, I heard this from a few people who were I don't name drop or act like I'm anybody, but I do have some friends who, work in DC and, are hip to a lot of the Senate gossip. Apparently, Amy's condition for dropping out and endorsing Biden before Super Tuesday was that she would not appear on stage with Pete Buttigieg at the Biden rally. She refused to do that. She's like, I will do it if I do not have to appear with him. And so that was apparently a real thing. She really hates it.
That's really what we want. We want a three-way.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, see, that would be tough because this says more about what I think of Pete and Kamala than it does what I think of Amy Klobuchar. But I think Amy Klobuchar is by far the most respectable of those three. And so the civically conscious part of me would root for Amy Klobuchar. But the devil on my shoulder would overpower that very easily. I need to see either Pete or Kamala run against Donald Trump. I have to see that because they're all going to lose. I mean, Klobuchar wouldn't beat Trump. And so if they're all going to lose anyway, you may as well, it would be more gratifying to watch Trump pummel Pete into the ground or Kamala than it would to see Amy Klobuchar lose.
I mean, this is a sad thing. This is how much the Democratic Party suck. You got two leftists sitting here being like, yeah, man, it would just be funny to watch Trump beat the shit out of the Democrats.
Well, because there's nothing else you're going to get out of the election. I mean, what else can you gain from it?
Sure. You have to get the entertainment value that you can. It's like the last days of Rome. I'm sure there were a lot of people who were like, come on, man, those helmets on the Visigoths, that's gold. That's gold, man. Let's just sit on the wall and watch them come down over the hill.
Exactly.
Before we get off this, I just want to say there was a new poll out where in their genius, in their wisdom, Democrats' top two picks for nominee are Kamala and Michelle.
Well, Michelle has a shot to win. Like Michelle Obama could win. I think she has the star power. She's popular enough. You know, she's got some stuff going for her.
Yeah, but she's made it very clear that she's not going to run.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, in terms of like politics, yeah, that's about what you would expect from these fucking mindless fucking Democratic voters. But at least with Michelle, like, yeah, she could conceivably win. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's by far the most electable of all of those Democrat. You know, you're talking about, you know, Pete, Kamala, Amy Klobuchar. You know, she has by far the best chance. But in terms of like her politics, yeah,
because she's not a creepy sociopath.
Yeah, she strikes you, and the fact that she's kind of reluctant to run, you know, she kind of strikes you as a somewhat normal person by like elite standards. You know what I mean? Like the one who's like least likely to like worship a goat's head before she goes to sleep. You know what I mean? She kind of gives off that vibe. So, you know, I think that's not an awful pick there. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe wherever you saw it, on YouTube, on Rumble, or on Facebook. We have channels on all three of those platforms. Also, consider helping us create more content by becoming a member at patreon.com/DoDissidents, or on Facebook, where you can become a supporter right through our Facebook page and get bonus content every week, as well as call-in access to our live stream shows. Thank you very much for your continued support.